Welcome, fellow humans. Today we are going to install Stable Diffusion, also known as Automatic1111 on our PCs. What this is going to do is allow us to generate an unlimited amount of AI images without any subscriptions or limitations on which models we can use. So, just a side note before we get into it, in order for this to work, you will need a graphics card that has at least 8 gigs of RAM on it. If you have a graphics card that has less than 8 gigs of RAM, Stable Diffusion can still work, and I will put a link in this video description below, so that way you can look at that resource on how to get it to work with your particular GPU. All right, so first what we're going to want to do is download Python 3.10.9. And we want to make sure that we download this version of Python, because if you download a later version like 3.11, it will not work. So we're just going to go to the Python page here. And again, I've linked all the everything that we'll be downloading today. I posted a link in the video description below. And so that way you can just click those links and find it nice and quickly. All right, so on the Python page, we're just going to scroll down to the bottom here, and you just want to select which Windows installer you need. If you're on a 32-bit version of Windows, you would select the 32-bit version. And if you're on the 64-bit version of Windows, you would select 64-bit. So I'm running a 64-bit version, so I'm going to download that and just save it to the downloads folder. All right, now that that's downloaded, we're going to click on this, add python.exe to path, and we're going to want that. So that way Automatic1111 knows where to find that installation of Python. All right, so let's just click install now. Yes to that. And we're going to click the disable path length limit. So that way we don't run into any issues there. And now, after that's been installed, what we're going to want to do next is go to this link here, git-scm.com, to download the Git command terminal. So we're just going to click download for Windows, 64-bit version. Download that anywhere, and then wait for that to finish and open it up. All right, and then that should open up soon. There we go. All right, and we're just gonna leave everything at default and just click next, next, next. We don't need to change anything here. Just go all the way to the end. And now we're going to open up the Git terminal. Git UI, and we're going to look for this one, Git CMD. So click on that. And now what we're going to do is go to the Automatic1111 GitHub repo, scroll all the way to the bottom. And this gray box right here, you want to copy that and paste that in here. And I'm also going to put a link to this in the description down below as well for you guys. All right, so one moment. And we're just going to wait for that to install. Now this can take a while depending on your internet connection and your hardware, but as you can see, it didn't take that long on this one. All right, now that we have all of that done, what we're going to do is open up our File Explorer and go to where our Automatic1111 installation is. So we're going to go to, for me, it's on this PC, it's on my C drive, underneath users, my user name for the computer, and then Stable Diffusion. And then we're going to go to open up the models folder. And then we're going to go to Stable Diffusion, and we're going to put our Stable Diffusion checkpoints in here. So the ones that we're going to download will be version 1.5 and 2.1. So we're going to go to the 1.5 link here, and we're going to click on Files and Versions. And we want to download the 1.5 pruned EMA only checkpoint file. So we're just going to click on this little down arrow here. And that should start this download. We're just going to put that in here. Now you can download it to your downloads folder, but for easier hassle, so that way you don't have to drag it from the downloads folder into the Stable Diffusion folder, you can just download it directly to the Stable Diffusion folder. So we're just going to go to my name, find our Stable Diffusion installation here, going to go to models and then Stable Diffusion, and then we're going to download that file to there. And then next, what we're going to do for version 2.1, we're going to do the same thing. Come to the version 2.1 page, click on files and versions, and download the 768 EMA pruned one. And we're just going to click download file, and that should start shortly. And we're going to install it in the same directory. All right, now that we have those two files downloaded, we are going to click edit, and where it says Python, that's where we're going to want to paste in the location of our Python install on our system. So to do that, we're going to open up our start menu, type Python. Well, that's not how you spell it. Python. And then we're going to open file location. Now this is just a shortcut. So we're going to right click and do open file location again. And then right here, we're going to right click again and do copy as path. And we're going to paste that right here into where it says set Python. So now Stable Diffusion will know where to find the Python installation. And also, before we exit out of this and save it, we are going to, right in between where it says set command line args and call webui.bat, we are going to type in git pull. And what that's going to do is it's going to, each time we start up Automatic1111, it is going to update it as well. So that way we're always running on the latest version of Automatic1111. All right. So now that we have that in there, we're going to save, close out of that, go back to our Stable Diffusion folder here. And we can also close this command prompt as well. And we are going to double click on our webui-user.bat file. Now, what this is going to do is because we're starting Automatic1111 for the first time, it's going to need to download a few additional files. And this can take a while depending on your internet connection as well as what hardware you have in your system. So it may sometimes look like it's not doing anything, but just to leave it, eventually it will finish and then we will be able to move on to the next steps. Okay, now that that is finished installing, we are going to open up our web browser and we are going to go to this address here. So I'm just going to open up a new tab. And another way that we can do it is instead of typing 127.0.0.1, we can just type localhost //7860, and that'll bring us to the same address. Well, I'm sorry, we don't have to use the forward slash, so just localhost :7860 or whatever it says for these 4 digits on your system. And we're just going to click that and wait for it to load, and boom, we have Automatic1111 now downloaded on our system. And to change models and see which one you're on, it's right up here. So you just click here and then you can switch between the two, and this will be grayed out for a little bit and then until the model loads, and then once it's loaded, it should go back. Yep, go right back to the way it was before. Okay. Now, if you want to add extensions to Stable Diffusion, we go to available, and there should be. So we just load. And let's say we wanted to add the extension to forum. So we would just find that extension, Control F, D forum right here. We would click install and we would wait for that to finish installing. And once that's installed, what we're going to do is come right down here and click on reload UI. Should see the form right here at the top. All right, so let's test it out here. That's amazing cards. And we are going to put in some negative prompts because we never know what Stable Diffusion is going to spit out. And there we have our image of a cat laying on, looks like carpet here that's outside, apparently. But yep. So it's working properly. And if you want to change your sampling method, we have all of those listed here, and each one will give you different results. So if we go to GPM++ to mcares and click generate, this will give us this art style of image. All right, and so that's how you install Automatic1111 on your personal system. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them down in the video comment section below, and like and subscribe for more videos like this one. And thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.